everyone out there in YouTube world. This is Black American Indian, and this is going to be a quick video in regards to genealogy for the state of Virginia. Um, for those out there that are familiar with Walter Plecker, he is America's most wanted, okay? He caused a lot of confusion with the descendants, including myself, of indigenous people in the state of Virginia. He forced or he mandated midwives and other health providers to um, change birth certificates to read either black or white or Negro, white, whatever you want to call it, to eliminate all indigenous presence in the state of Virginia. Yeah. Racial Integrity Act, I think of 1920 or 1924, if I'm not mistaken. And this is also a video to enlighten those out there from other states or further west that just don't get it, just don't understand why indigenous American descendants are having such a hard time tracing their ancestry, the paper trail. But for the state of Virginia, we're somewhat unique because we have documentation that all of this stuff did go on. And a lot of indigenous groups are still closed communities in the state of Virginia. They are fighting it in order to get federal recognition from the federal government. And so that's why it's difficult for us to really trace our ancestors back. Now, the race changed depending on the census taker, depending on the season, you know. Like my complexion, it gets dark in the summertime just like anybody else, and it's lighter in the wintertime. So my ancestors, they were documented according to their complexion over the summer. You know, summer months in Southern Virginia is hot and humid, so hair was probably frizzy and kinked up and everything, and the skin was dark because they were sharecroppers. So, you know, they probably was like, okay, well, these are black folks. And then winter months, then all of a sudden they're mulatto or they're mixed or whatever. But they would never put, at least in the early 1900s, they didn't necessarily put Native American or Indigenous American or whatever, or Indian that they decided to put on the record for that time period. So I know I'm not the only one that has gone through the genealogy process and coming across the race being changed multiple times every 10 years up to 1930, because that's when they stopped taking, I guess, the census. I don't know, but yeah, 1930. Yeah, that's pretty much the norm for a lot of us when we're looking at our ancestry. So I also was told by a friend that it's important not to focus too much on the race category, because when you're looking at your ancestors, they may be white, they might be black, they might be mixed, they might be mulatto. It just really depends. So you have to really pay attention to the family dynamic in the community. So a lot of communities, the family pretty much stayed in the community. So next door might be Uncle Joe, and then down the street about a mile that might be Aunt Sally or whatever, and their family. Also looking at church documents, church Bibles and things of that nature, which family names are in that church. But yeah, not really focusing so much on the race, because then you'll really get confused. Like, oh, that can't be my great-great-grandfather because that's a white man or whatever. Yeah, so not to focus too much on that. But yeah, that's why a lot of us get confused with the racial category on these documents when we're searching, is because of Walter Plecker and the likes of such people. It's unfortunate. But Yeah, and also I was reading a couple of articles, or I would say opinionated articles, on non-federal versus federally recognized tribes, and the back and forth that's going on with the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma trying to be the tribal police, trying to discredit those who aren't federally recognized, and so forth. It's all when it all boils down to it, follow the money. Follow the money. Wherever the money is, that's where you're gonna see a lot of this back and forth and bickering. I really believe that if money was not involved with this whole federal versus non-federal, there'll be a lot more harmony among tribal members of their own family, their own tribal connection. Now of course, tribes they bickered before the Pilgrims came or whatever. They had their wars and battles and such. But within the tribe, I'm sure there was more union because they knew they needed each other to survive. Because that whole divide and conquer thing. Well, yeah, it definitely works. If you divide a community, then you conquer that community. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to say. I just wanted to get some feedback from you all that are also going through this genealogy journey as well, not just with the DNA, but also with the paper trail. And yeah, specifically state of Virginia. People that have ancestry from Virginia, okay? And, with Walter Plecker and like making it a lot difficult for us descendants to embrace and to document ourselves. Um, but yeah, so anyway, you have a blessed day, and until next time, bye bye.